Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome along to the Horse Racing Network with me, Paul Alster. And for those of the more eagle-eyed amongst you, you'll probably have already figured out that I'm not either Izzy Phillips or Jack Milner, who today aren't able to be with us. So rather than leave you high and dry, I've been asked to come along, give you one or two thoughts on some of the principal races coming up on Saturday. But of course, a lot depends on the weather. And unfortunately, Izzy isn't here to give us one of her legendary weather bulletins. But what we know is that there's going to be inspections both at Kempton and Warwick, the two big meetings in Britain tomorrow. Fingers are crossed that they're going to survive. It is a bit touch and go here and there, but we're going to be talking about races at both meetings in the hope that at least one of them will go ahead and we'll have something to go forward with. Well, let me just take you first of all to the Classic Chase over at Warwick. This is an early trial really for the Grand National and for the National Hunt Chase, those type of races at the Cheltenham Festival. It's going to be fairly testing ground there at Warwick, and there is an early non-runner for this 255, £100,000. The William Hill $500,000 Classic Handicap Chase, no less, is the official title. Soft ground, and the early non-runner is Torn and Frayed. So that one does not go. It leaves us with a field of 8. The early favourite is Maya Town for Lucinda Russell and Michael Scudamore. And this horse was very impressive when he won at Cheltenham in March, of course, in the Ultimate Handicap Chase, but he was put up £15 for that. Now, on his only start since, he ran in the Old Hennessy Gold Cup. That, of course, is the Coral Gold Cup these days. He was in front. He was favourite when he fell at the 9th. Now, a lot of people are saying that he would surely have gone on and won, but it was only the 9th fence of about 20, and they hadn't quite reached halfway. So trying a new trip as well. He's never gone this far. I think he's probably worth taking on. He's 11-4. Resplendent Grace stays all day. He's got the champion jockey on Sean Bowen. I think he'll probably run his race. And L'Empressé, the top weight, is a really classy horse, as we know. He's been 4th in a Gold Cup, 3rd in the King George of 2024, and a very good second on his reappearance this season, just 4 weeks ago at Cheltenham, where he was giving bags of weight, £24 to blaze the way, and was a very promising second. Now, I did see him as being the horse they all had to beat, but the market is really worrying. He's drifted out from 4-1 to 13-2 at the moment, and that is a little bit worrying. And so I think the only way to go really on this race is with the horse that I'm sure Izzy would be tipping if she was here, because that's Mr. Vango, trained by Sarah Bradstock, the Mound of Jack Tudor. He's become a real public horse, terrific stayer. He gallops all day, he jumps beautifully, and he loves soft ground. And he's got his ground. He only just failed by a short head to give a stone to Twig in the Beecher Chase at Aintree. That was 5 weeks ago, having ended last season winning the Midlands Grand National, having also won the Peter Marsh Chase. This is a terrific staying chaser. He's quite highly rated at 155, but I think the 7-2 is probably a pretty decent price for Mr. Vango, who looks sure to give you a really good run for your money. So Mr. Vango would be my choice in the Classic Chase at Warwick at 255. Now, the other big race of the day is at the other meeting down in London at Kempton Park. And this is the Coral Lanzaroti Handicap Hurdle, 2 miles, 5 furlongs. They're saying the going is good to soft in places. They could get some rain, they could get some frost, they could get some snow. But it's certainly not going to be as testing as at Warwick if that meeting survives. And earlier today, there wasn't a lot in the market between Lanesborough, trained by Ben Pauling, and Dan Skelton's Apai de Nom. But the market is rather stronger for Lanesborough, who was pretty impressive when he ran away with a fair handicap at Doncaster last time, but he's gone up a stone for that. Apai de Nom, well, he's won 3 of his last 4. He's for the Skeltons, who are the Saturday team, of course, and lots of people love to follow them. And he's now an 11-2 shot. Friendship is on a hat-trick. He's won at Cheltenham and at Newbury, 2 really solid handicap hurdles this season. But the one I'm quite interested here for this service is Beat the Bat. Now, the reason is that Harry Fry trains in Barrett Carver is on board. This horse was 4th at the Cheltenham Festival in the Coral Cup, then 5th of 23 at the Punchestown Festival to end last season. They obviously decided they were going to go chasing this season. He ran at Exeter 5 weeks ago. He didn't look a natural over fences, and they've scrapped it straight away. So they're back to hurdles. I think the horse will probably be relieved he's jumping hurdles and not fences. Off a mark of 134, I think you'd have to see him going really quite well, beat the bat. And I would say he's one to look at. I'd certainly suggest, as I have done elsewhere, that Just a Rose is an interesting horse at a bigger price for Paul Nicholls and Freddie Gingell off a lightweight of just 10 stone 3. This horse won by 26 lengths on debut under rules at Taunton last year, then was overfaced in a Grade 2 at the Cheltenham Festival on only its second start, but it ran well for a very long way at Taunton on its reappearance this season, and off a very low weight is sort of flying a little bit under the radar. So Just a Rose, one to keep an eye on, but I think Beat the Bat might be the one to have on your side there at Kempton in the Lanzarote handicap hurdle, which of course is named after one of the great hurdlers of the 1970s. Just one other horse to mention for you, and that is also at Kempton earlier in the day there. The 130 is a Juvenile hurdle. And what's interesting here is that, first of all, there's a significant non-runner, and that is Pourquoi Pas Papa. That is a non-runner. It was the market second favourite. I really fancied it. I tipped it up to my clients at Out in Front, which is my subscription service over at Patreon, which you should check out because we're having a wonderful run of success at pretty big prices. But he's a non-runner. So my clients will be down to the 3 horses to focus on at big odds on Saturday. But what interests me that is, even though Pourquoi Pas Papa is a non-runner, the favourite, Precious Man, is drifting. Even with the second favourite out, he's no bigger odds, no shorter odds. He should be shorter, and he isn't, which makes me think that this £10 that he's having to concede, having won one and then run very well on his reappearance this season, could possibly just be a hint that maybe they're not as confident as the original market thought. And one that I think could be worth a thieving each way bet is Wertpol, number 8, who's trained by Harry Derham. Now, Harry Derham is the trainer of the horse that actually beat the favourite last time out. So Harry will have quite a good line to this favourite. And this Wertpol made a really good start over hurdles for him, having joined him from Johnny Murtagh, for whom he raced on the flat. He won in very nice style at Taunton just before New Year's Eve. And stepping up in grade here, but getting £10 from Precious Man. I see that Wertpol is 10 to 1 at the very best offer, but generally around 7 to 1. And I think that has to be worth taking a look at. And he looks a solid each way chance. So those are 3 for you to consider amongst your bets for Saturday. Let's hope more than anything that the racing goes ahead and we get to see some really good jump racing on Saturday. And the best news you can possibly have is that we'll be back next time, and all being well, both Izzy Phillips and Jack Milner will be with me. So things are already looking up in 2026. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye for now.